Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another walkthrough. This is for the newest level 80 dungeon in patch 5.2 of Shadowbringers for Final Fantasy Online for Anamnesis Anyder. The minimum item level to enter this dungeon is 440. It drops level 455 gear and also a chance at a rare minion. Naturally, it consists of typical trash mobs leading up to 3 bosses, and I will walk you through them. Now, first of all, when you start off, you'll be on this little island as your little buddy is taking you to the location you need to go to. There's nothing really to deal with bad in terms of these trash mobs. Just burn them down. You don't really have to deal with them. They're really not that difficult. But once you burn them down, you'll be on to your first boss. Alright, your first boss of this new dungeon is against Unknown. Talk about an original name there, right? Now, he doesn't have too many mechanics, and I'll walk you through each one. First up is a move known as Fetid Fang, which is your standard issue tank buster. Just heal through it and you'll be fine. Next up is a move called Scrutiny, where these AoE circles will appear, as you can see, and you'll just want to find an open space that you can safely stand in the middle of to avoid eating damage. Just wait it out, you'll be fine, nothing major here. Next up is Luminous Ray, where it will have this frontal AoE blast. When you see them starting to charge up, just get out of the way in front of them, you'll be okay. Next up is Inscrutability, which is a room-wide AoE that cannot be avoided. Just heal through it and you'll be fine. And pretty much give or take around 30%, he will clone himself, creating a doppelganger, and you'll have to deal with both these guys as they progressively keep doing all these moves. So as long as you just pay close attention and burn them down as fast as possible, you'll be able to beat Unknown and get on to your next set of trash mobs. The next set of trash mobs is nothing to really deal with. I mean, you can actually get a huge gaggle of them together and burn them down rather fast. They can kind of sort of hit a little hard, but nothing that you shouldn't be able to as long as you got a good healer, be able to heal through. Honestly, these guys are quite a pushover. You burn them down and you just keep moving along and you'll be on to your second boss already. Alright, boss number 2 of this dungeon is against Cyclops. This guy really doesn't have too many mechanics either. I'll walk you through them. First up is a move known as the Final Verse. That is a room-wide AoE. You can't do anything but just heal through it and you'll be fine. Next up is a move called 2000 Mina. That's pretty much like this ring sweep attack. When you see him charging up, there'll be a ring and they'll appear around him. Just get out of his way when he's swinging his weapon. You'll be fine. You won't take any damage. Next up is a move named Terrible Hammer, where you will see these hammer icons that will appear on the floor beneath you, followed by these sword icons. And what you want to do is stand in the sword icon, and as soon as the hammer icons detonate, get over there in the hammer area as fast as you can, because right after the hammer icons detonate, the sword will detonate. And if you're standing in the same area, you will pretty much get one-shotted fairly easily. Next up is a move known as Eye of the Cyclops, which is a donut ring-shaped AoE attack. You'll want to get close to the enemy, close to the boss to avoid taking damage on that. And his last move is known as Raging Growler, which is a frontal AoE blast. When you see him charging up for that, just stay in front of him and you'll be fine. Now, as he progresses, he will start combining these moves, but other than that, it's really not that difficult to actually deal with him. In the Final Verse is your room-wide AoE. 2000 Mina is that ring-wide sweep attack you'll want to avoid. Terrible Hammer is the main one where you'll want to pay attention and not stand on the hammer icon until it detonates and then get on it real quick to avoid eating damage. But other than that, he really doesn't have too many mechanics to really worry about. You'll be able to beat down Cyclops very quickly and get on to your third set of trash mobs. On the way to the third and final boss of this dungeon, you really won't have much to worry about other than your standard issue moron enemies that you'll have to burn down. Nothing really that difficult. No new mechanics you really have to worry about as you go through this part. Just pull them all together like we did and just burn them down quickly and you'll be on to your third and final boss of this dungeon already. Alright, the third and final boss of this new dungeon is against Rucious Jaheim. I think that's his name. I really don't know. He's got a stupid name. It's kind of a reskin of one of the guys earlier. He's got a good amount of mechanics, but nothing that's really earth-shatteringly difficult as long as you pay attention when you're fighting him. Now, first up, as you're fighting this guy, he'll do a move called Bone Breaker, which is your standard issue tank buster. Just heal through it and you'll be fine. Next up is a move called Seabed Ceremony, where it's an area-wide AoE that is followed by Depth Grip. The one part of the area of the arena will be covered in water that you will not want to step in, and these water hands will pop up and they will fall in a line. You'll want to try to avoid them as they fall to avoid taking too much damage. Next up is a move called Falling Water, where these AoE rings will appear on each of you guys, and you'll just want to try to spread them out to make sure to alleviate any sort of damage. Don't stack them to avoid too much damage. Now, give or take right around. Next up is a move called Rising Tide, where it is a plus-shaped AoE with Water Blast. Just stay out of the path and you'll be fine. Around 50%, he'll start going and doing a different move with the Seabed Ceremony and Depth Grip, where he'll have it on both sides of the arena. So you have to pay attention to both sides having these water hands that crash down and can do massive damage to you. Now, give or take about 30% of his life left, he'll start having these grates spit up water. And what you want to do is pick one of the grates where one of the water hands is not located at. That way when they crash down, they won't hit you because a minion will pop out of the grates that you're not standing on. And if you do it correctly, pretty much the water hands will crush the minion. Now, of course, you also have to deal with your standard stacking AoE, but that's nothing really out of the way, really too difficult to deal with there. Now, as you progress through, he'll also do a move called Command Current, where these AoE lines will appear. Just pick an area that you can avoid actually being hit from him, while not staying too close to him, because he'll do like a ring AoE damage as well. As long as you deal with this, the constantly of him doing these moves, of the Bone Breaker, which is the Tank Buster, the Seabed Ceremony, which is the area AoE lines of water, followed by the Depth Grip water hands that fall, the Falling Water, which is the AoE circles that you want to place apart and not stack, the Rising Tide, which is the square plus AoEs that go across the arena, and just dealing with the fact of him only doing it a couple times with that water grate thing, you'll be fine. You'll be able to beat the final boss, Rucious Jaheim, or whatever his name is, and hopefully, maybe you'll get that super rare minion and get some sweet, sweet level 455 gear. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please hit the bell icon to stay updated whenever I release any new videos, and remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.